Hi, everyone. It's Miss Hakvari in the library. I have a mystery I would like to tell you about, and this book is called Spin. It's by the author Lamar Giles. That person also has several other books in our library as well. But instead of describing this book to you, I wanted to start by reading the first chapter. And this book is told in alternate perspectives, and one of the characters who tells their side of the story is Kaya. And so this starts with Kaya's perspective. I did not kill Paris Secord. Should have told the two police officers staring at me from across the table, though. They hadn't asked. There'd been other questions about the night. I answered as honestly as honestly as felt smart. Yet, I wanted to state unequivocally that I was not the murderer here. Sweat made my shirt sticky, like a licked envelope, even though the tiny room was cold. You go to Cook High? Detective Barker asked. Through my damp shirt, I clutched the oblong charm that dangled from a nylon necklace and rested against my chest. Yes. My daughter was an Eagle, class of 97. He dragged a finger down the sheet in the open folder before him. How did he have a paper about me? And this? Sophomore? I'll be a senior in the fall. I did not kill Paris Secord. Even rehearsing it in my head, it seemed too loud, too fake. I did not kill If I understand the situation correctly, your friend Paris was a DJ known for throwing impromptu parties in unsanctioned locations. Pop ups, yeah, not so much these days. Something changed with her? She got busy with her music production. My hands kneaded into each other, worked invisible dough between them. Help me understand that a bit more. I'm an old guy. That means what, exactly? She made songs. The beats, sometimes lyrics, but not always. She made it all sound good together. This was more than a hobby. She had a song go viral some time ago, then she did it again and again. Bigger artists have been wanting to work with her. I heard J. Cole had some interest. You heard? One of the detective's bushy eyebrows lifted. Not from her. No, there hadn't been many meaningful conversations between us lately. That last real talk was just mean. More name calling than career updates. I had a feeling some of this stuff they knew already. How could they not? Paris was famous. Maybe not that get mobbed in the mall kind of fame, not yet. Her name rang out in Virginia, and with music heads in general. She was on her way. And now, she wasn't. My hands kept working. Even though I willed them to stop, nothing was in my control that evening, not even my own body. I pressed my palms flat against the table. Stay, I shouted inside my skull, only slightly more convincing than my silent assertion of innocence. The camera just above the interrogation room door caught every bit of me acting weird while answering the simplest questions. When the cops rewatched this video, I'd look guilty. If they ever played it before a jury, I'd look guilty times 12. Is there something you want to tell us? Barker said. He was dark skinned, like me, with matted black and white grandpa hair that looked like he'd been rolling in baby powder and coal dust. He'd smiled when he walked into the room, and I remembered wondering wondering if they found a black man who smiled, so I'd forget that badge on his belt and say something wrong. Were his simple questions meant to make me act weird, like a trap? I did not kill Paris Secord. Hey, Kaya. His hands raised, palms facing me, a sign of peace. His smile twitched away. He looked as frightened as I felt. I only asked because you were moving your lips a minute ago. Moving my lips. I mouthed words when I got nervous. I'd probably mouthed jury. An expert lip reader might already tell them I was thinking of a way to trick the jury because I was 100% guilty. His partner, a silent, youngish white policeman who was scary in a way I was used to, burst into the room, making me yelp. He held a box of Kleenex. Only then did my vision blur from accumulated tears that spilled over. I accepted the tissues and, oh God, Paris was gone. Staying quiet was the smart move. They hadn't arrested me. They never read me those rights cops read criminals on TV. I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I only knew that silence was always advised. How many movies had a lawyer yelling at their innocent client to keep their mouth shut? But there was the thing I needed to say, out loud once, and make it sound true. I did not. Something crashed just outside the interrogation room. Shrieking curses followed. A general sense of panic soured the air inside the Ocean Shore Police Department's second precinct. Barker and his partner rushed from the room. joining a couple of uniformed officers trying to contain the destructive lunatic who should be in here handcuffed, maybe muzzled too. I did not kill Paris Secord, had absolutely nothing to do with her death. Could all of her so called friends say the same? So I think that's a really interesting way to start a story. Our author starts the story in the middle of a police investigation. And so Kaya is the main character. She and Paris have been good friends, but as we read, things hadn't been going very well for them lately. Um, the other person that you hear from in this book, his name is Fuse, and Fuse was a big rival of Paris's on the DJ scene. So as Kaya and Fuse kind of tell the story, you start to learn more of the circumstances around Paris's death. Kaya and Fuse actually sort of stumble across Paris's body together, and because they are in the vicinity of where she was killed and kind of the first on the scene, they're the main suspects, at least when the book starts. So if you like mysteries, murder mysteries, this might be a good book for you. If you're interested in the DJ scene at all, there are some circumstances here that may interest you as well. But again, this book is called Spin by the author Lamar Giles.